I was listening to Give Up the Ghost by Radiohead today. I've known that song for, I guess, like 11 years. It's really nice. It's from the King of Limbs 2011 album. I think it's one of those songs that, like, I don't know why the King of Limbs does not get, well, I do kind of know why. It's a weird studio album, but not that weird, but I guess not one of their stronger studio albums. But some of the tracks on King of Limbs are, like, legitimately some of the best songs I think Radiohead's ever made. Bloom, for one, Lotus Flower. But Give Up the Ghost is so, there's something so, like, entrancing about it. Like, first of all, I think it's, like, one of the, I know that Radiohead, like, uses, like, loops and stuff in other songs, especially since then, but I think that was the first time I distinctly, like, remember thinking, when I first heard it, like, wow, like, this is a very clear use of the loop pedal, right? Like, it's like, well, here so I don't talk over the whole thing. If you haven't heard the song, go listen to it, but it starts off with Tom just playing guitar, like these two chords, like, which are D major, by the way, and A minor. If you assume that the song is like in D, or at least one of the modes of D, which I think it is, there's already something interesting going on. And if you're familiar with modes and stuff, I think I've talked about this on this. Is it weird to call this a channel? On this channel before, but the mode called Mixolydian, I've talked about definitely on an Aldous Harding song. It's very close to major, but it's got a minor seventh instead of a major seventh, which melodically, does some interesting things, but mostly I think like the chord progressions you get from that are what are super interesting. So you already have pinned this. Sometimes like modes are mysterious, right? Like the band hasn't played enough notes for you to know exactly what's going on. But like right off the bat, not to say it couldn't go in other directions, but you kind of know that this is in D Mixolydian because you have that D major, so that could be one of three, right? That could be D major, or AKA D Ionian, D Lydian, or D Mixolydian, because those are the three. Those are the three modes that start with a major chord, or that are anchored on a major chord, I should say. And you really don't know enough, by the way. I'm oversimplifying. Like, there's a million directions a song can go in. So, but simply put, like, the fact that you've triangulated it to those three modes, it's either D, Ionian, Lydian, or Mixolydian. If you go to build a triad on the A and you're in Ionian, this is the note you get, which is a lot more. That's major. Like that's the most major of major modes. That's a lot more common in music. It's just kind of like bubblegum, cotton candy, like. Right. But what's interesting about Mixolydian, and actually Lydian does the same thing, is the only difference between Lydian and Ionian is that there's a raised fourth. So in that case, the scale would be. And that does, in some instances, lead to different chords, just like Mixolydian does, but not in this instance because you don't actually play that note, I don't think. No, you don't. When you're on A. So the only like mode that you could possibly be in is the D Mixolydian. Because instead of playing, you play. And I gotta say, just like generally speaking, I think it's like super critical if you're gonna write chord progressions or not even just write them, but just like understand them and like play around with them, is to like, it's like there's nothing wrong with sort of more common things. Like I've heard like some of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard are like straight up in major Ionian 4/4, like, it doesn't mean it's not beautiful or whatever, but I think that what you kind of like, what brings me joy is sort of like hearing these moments where, oh, there's a minor chord here instead of a major chord, or vice versa. And like, I'm really getting into just why Mixolydian is an interesting mode. I'm not talking about the song at all, but that's right off the bat. It's just another interesting thing, And so anyway, I'll play that for a second. So yeah, it starts off with Tom just playing guitar, like. And then before he even comes in with the notes, or with the lyrics, well, I guess they are technically lyrics, but this is where the loop pedal comes in. He starts this, I don't know what to call it, it's like a chant through the rest of the song. Don't haunt me, don't hurt me. It's about a ghost, so. If I had the tech, I could make that happen here, and I probably could do it in post too if I put the work in, but I'm not going to. But so that's always in the song from there on out. And then there's other times in the song, I don't want this to go too much longer, so I'm just going to sort of sum it up. But there's other times in the song where he's harmonizing on top of that was recorded several minutes ago, so he might be like. That's just part of the bass layer. And then the lyrics come in, and I don't really have much an interest in talking about lyrics, but it's just the how long it takes to come in the song is nice, and then it's like. Convenient for me here is that because I'm already at minute 8.5. Hey, buddy. Hey. I want to wrap this up probably before 10, hopefully. Is that a lot of the layers and stuff that come on after that are a little repetitive, and like it's a slow build, so I don't have to go through much of the rest of the song. But there is one moment I want to hit on, because you bounce between these two chords. And you get kind of used to them. It's just like. And Mixolydian scales, like, Mixolydian might be, like, legit my favorite mode for, like, coming up with chord progressions in. Because, like, there's such a, like, I don't know how to describe it. There's something about Mixolydian, like, that's special. Dorian as well. It's just, like, exotic, but also, like, super strong. Maybe even, like, stronger than your traditional major minor scales like Ionian, Aeolian, but the fact that they use it up front and it's like clear they're doing it, but then the fact that they don't use any other chords for a long time in the song, and it's just this sort of building of melodies and harmonies on top of that, like really like lets you at minute, I don't know, whatever, 4, whenever you want to have that moment in the song where everything breaks free, like the fact that they wait till then to use other chords in the song, just it's so powerful. Like I won't be able to recreate it here, but And it's also like they again, I don't like to talk about lyrics, but the name of the song is "Give Up the Ghost," and when the lyric, excuse me, when the lyric "Give Up the Ghost" happens, is when this moment happens. So it just hits you like a wall of bricks, like. So he's doing the normal thing, like.